Apothecary Diaries Season 1, Episode 13. He looks awfully happy. Oh, it's the Emperor. What are they plotting? Flowers, there it is directly, yeah. Flowers just means so many things in this show. What are we doing here? What does he want? Is this foreshadowing? Drinking poison?
どんなに努力しようとも、地も部も凡人に毛が生えた程度のもの。なのに外見だけは誰よりも秀でたものがついてきた。
How difficult that must be for you.
本当に自分が欲しいものはなかなか手に入らない。
Oh, boo-hoo. Poor Jinshi. The only things he has in life are his godlike good looks and possible royal lineage. Just the worst roll of the die. I'm trying to figure out what they're doing with flowers here, because it's so many things at once. Flowers are beautiful, but they're also poison, which speaks maybe to the duality of Maomao and her life in the palace, where, again, she wants to stay hidden, but she's never going to stay hidden because she's a blooming flower. There's also something here with flowers and sexuality. I think it refers to prostitution, or in this context, the emperor's flowers, as he just put it, which makes it really interesting that the whole opening is about like becoming a flower. And given some of the things we've repeatedly seen in the show, you know, for example, last episode, where it seems like if Maomao doesn't pursue her life very deliberately to the best of her ability, given the fact that she's sort of a captive, the path that she will inevitably fall into is the courtesans in House Verdigris, or in this context, maybe one of the emperor's concubines. And there's something about that is not desirable for Maomao, yet like oddly seductive, it seems. I mean, I'm sort of basing this not on what her character has said and done so far in the show, but like what the opening is. Because the opening is sort of this duality of her visually, where she's like this, you know, the Maomao we know who's masking herself with freckles, but then transforms into something that looks kind of courtesan-like and is very ostentatiously glamorous, etc., etc. So here, like, the emperor directly calls them flowers. Also, what does Jinshi want? What do you really want, Jinshi?
昔は気に入らなかったが、今はもう割り切っている。甘い眼差し、甘い声。他人より秀でたものを最大限利用してやる。
Oh, this makes it seem sort of adversarial, but the emperor also has a knowing look in his eyes. They're flashing to the glasses a lot, which sort of seems like foreshadowing for liquids.
自分の道を選ぶ唯一の方法だ。
Maybe it's freedom, but freedom to do what? That sort of begs the question. Oh, it's a new opening. Look at this. It's funny timing because I was just talking about like my interpretation of the ending just as it's gone. Yeah, I mean, this is a big question. What does Jinshi want? I had suspicions already that he's not on the emperor's side on a soul level. He's on the emperor's side on a level of self-preservation. He'll do things he wants to do to the extent he thinks he can get away with them, and he has secrets from the emperor, which is not loyal. It's sort of an infuriating position when you realize in a very particular way, right? Because there's multiple levels of games. There's different kinds of games. Some people are just better than you. You know, they're bigger than you. They're more powerful than you. They've accomplished more than you. That can mess some people up. If you have a lot of pride, but you're in a position where somebody just can exert that leverage over you, whether that's a situation you've chosen for money, let's say, or, you know, you just end up in it like Jinshi. There's a lot of potential dissonance that can happen there. It can be very emotionally uncomfortable, especially as a guy who's prideful and who's maintaining some sort of ego, just be like crushed by another man's status and power. That's not something that goes down clean. Like, you know, spending time with people who are extraordinarily wealthy. I just don't have the power they have. I don't have the status they have. I don't have the influence they have. Now, like from there, an instinct is to be like, well, I don't really want it. But that doesn't really work because there's part of me that does want it, right? And so that's just a lie. That's just sour grapes, and that solves nothing. The next step is to sort of look for ways I can check boxes of value outside of those things. And that's really tricky because that can work, but it can't work as an escape from looking that reality in the face. It only works to the extent and in the exact ways that is true to me and genuine to me. I think the best games are non-zero sum and non-comparative, or if they are comparative, it's comparative to your ideal rather than to just circumstances of other people's lives. Another common one is to get resentful or to find holes in the other person's life. Like, well, you may have all this, but you don't have this thing that I have, but that also is empty, doesn't solve anything, doesn't help my life at all. For it to be clean and to feel good and to feel healthy, it really has to be mine, that I genuinely feel is important and want, that is ideal based, not based on luck, and something I can believe in. And the higher I can anchor that, the higher I can look, the more it sort of takes care of itself. So in my very personal way, I can sort of intuit maybe where Jinshi's going with like the focus on the freedom thing, right? It's a very, very complex relationship to be at the whim of this person, to be in this world where these actually are the values. You can't change people's minds about that. That's the environment you live in. But to like feel a different sort of pull in your own heart and to try to stay clear and true to that pull rather than to try to like be cynical and bring other people down and find all the flaws in them to make you feel better about your own anxieties about not being in the place they are, etc., etc. It's such a mess. Separately, what is so cool about Emperor Jinshi in this situation is it's kind of a classic battle of forces in male romance, let's say, between the power and status and money versus the physical attraction and which wins, because those are very extreme poles and also very powerful forces that are totally different, and like it's not clear which one is more dominant except for maybe in very particular contexts. Completely isolating for care, because that's in neither of them, right? It's like just really raw materialistic things, power and resources and affluence versus beauty. And now new opening. Uru's ambivalent. Do we just relive Maomao's kidnapping? It's very lifelike, very slice of life for Maomao, being involved with every manner of the palace. And also Jinji's more present. He's not just like shoehorned into the end. I guess opening one was sort of our perspective. It's like we're with Maomao, now we're in the palace, and who's this like weird dude at the end here? Now Jinshi is a fixture. Hello! Gotta give me a X-rated warning on that one. No opening would be complete without flowers. Long shot of flowers. Wow, that was a bold direction choice. More beads. All these beads. We got blue beads this time instead of golden beads. This parallels the first opening. They seem a little bit more, I don't know, raw, a little bit more open to each other. I don't know. Getting closer and closer together. Don't forget the story is a work of fiction. Episode 13, Serving in the Outer Court. I'm a little bit alarmed that now, like, Jinshi owns Maomao. Maybe this is for the best. Maybe this helps him open up and be a little less weird. I don't know. I would like that. And don't forget, your freckles are ugly and we all hate your freckles. You may now be in the service of the future emperor or emperor's son or something. That's the thing though, Maomao was so valuable, she'll get away with more than anyone else. That's an odd time in life for a courtesan. Yeah, I mean, that's nice and all. I don't know about Maomao, but like having friends and exes in this industry, because it is a career. I mean, it's still a career. Honestly, there's a lot of it that seems similar, just with some more modern conventions. But yeah, you work your way up and you're trying to land a big whale before your youth declines. And when your youth starts declining, it's not necessarily over, but that's when you really need to be skillful. And I think that's also from experience where I've met people who are still working at later ages that are on the more like questionable side of what they're willing to do. It seems like there's a little bit more deception that comes into play. As I mentioned in the past though, what's interesting about that is the people who really make it into a long career, who are doing it like into their mid-40s, let's say, they're not even always necessarily the ones that are the most attractive. They seem to be the ones that are the best at psychology. Maybe that's what Maomao meant by being good at Go. Right? Oh, you're talking about the luggage. Go amass your fortune and live a good life, and also be really careful. Don't forget us. Don't forget about us. When you're up there. How am I supposed to know that beforehand? Maybe we appreciate it more now because we lost it once. Not really, it seems. Doesn't seem to happen that often. This must be like the second half of season 1 that came out later, so we need a little refresher and a new opening and stuff. Yeah, I guess it's episode 13. A bunch of stuff did happen. Yeah, that's true. Your dad doesn't care. Your dad doesn't care where you are, what you do. Live and let live, I guess. He really lives that philosophy. You know, you're almost tempted to say he doesn't care. I want to give him some credit and think it's like, you know, go live your life and I trust you to figure it out. And that's part of growing up. To the extreme, almost like a, you know, Jing type figure. Or I don't know, maybe just doesn't care. If Maomao had a kid, would she care? I feel like she would. I feel like she would when it really counted. Some kids would interpret this really negatively. Like, he just doesn't care what happens to me. Okay, that's good advice. Thanks for not letting... well, we can just talk to Jinshi. We can clear it, right? I know the guy at the top. Odd relationship. There's a lot that is unsaid that maybe should be said at some point, but it's not really their style. Oh, that's a huge improvement. That's nice. Is this some care? But you won't? That's really generous of her. I don't know. Am I crazy? Or are these people not your family and friends. I mean, it's not one or the other in many cases, right? It's not as clear or as complicated. It can all be true at once, that they have their care for her and they love her and look out for her. But I don't know if I would like put so much in that and in them, or maybe just in the system as a whole, because that lady is trying to sell you into sex work, which maybe you could argue is okay if you want it. And even then it's sort of weird, but like Maomao doesn't seem to want it. And the whole thing just has sort of a mercenary feel. I mean, I think maybe it's just a function of their lives. I imagine it's hard to find true caring and goodness in times of difficulty. Goodness and real care, aside from like rare special cases, it's kind of a luxury of the comfortable. Not that being comfortable makes you nice either. And her father sort of remains to be seen. I wouldn't count him out as being mercenary either. And I don't think there's evidence for that. It just wouldn't surprise me. It seems like at best it's indifference. There's something a little bit off about him. Maybe it's just like Maomao's kindness and feeling lost that makes her, you know, so enamored with these people. Maybe it's just her generosity. I wonder if that makes her vulnerable in general. I mean, also here, the courtesans or the concubines of the emperor, they're not her friends. As soon as the emperor gets her attention, I don't really like you. And I owe you nothing. Are we married now or what? You get a little attention and suddenly everyone wants to know your name. All you fair weather admirers. I don't know what it is about the show that makes you so distrustful and cynical. I don't trust anyone in this world. You look nice. He's getting flustered. I guess she's just his type. It's like that, huh? Speaking of relationship dynamics, there's also the pain of having a beautiful girlfriend or a beautiful crush. You think you want it, but it also can be difficult if your partner gets so much attention. Speaking of things that take energy, and not for the weak. Yeah, there it is. Huh? That's typical. I can't say I don't understand it. Well, he's good at Go. He would make a really good courtesan. He's getting defensive. The jealousy. I guess you just gotta marry her then. Though that wouldn't solve the jealousy. What will we be doing exactly? I will never look at Gaoshin the same again. It's like GTA where we move to a new location. We unlocked a new part of the map. Suiren. Someone's been talking. From luxury to luxury. Do they have a workstation? A workbench where I can make, you know, iron pockets and all manner of other things that the whole castle needs? If this is all a plot for Jinshi, this is a masterstroke, because in the guise of helping Maomao, he got her into his household where nobody would think twice of her being there or they're conspiring. But also I think he's just jealous. The thought of her working at House Verdigris really put him through changes. I think you've gotten a promotion. Yeah, right. Well, I mean, it was so clear even from the beginning that her talents were being wasted. It doesn't make any sense for her to clean. That's not her gift. I guess you will be reading. Why is there an exam for court lady? That should be easy. What did you get your degree in? I got my degree in lady. I guess it's a more comfortable version of the same thing. Good first day. Good first impression. Even though she doesn't need to do this. I don't blame them. Honestly, this is much better. The fewer people, the better in this world. Right. Like, the ladies get poisoned all the time and no one really thinks about it. You just have too many people. Is that what it was? Oh man, the burdens that Jinshi has to bear. Hair underwear is a new one for me though. Though like some people would only dream. I also like how stealing had nothing to do with it, but Maomao went there immediately because of her like klepto streak. He's too powerful for normal mortals. I'll take your word for it, Maomao. It's just the MacGuffin. I can stand it. I read your
よくわ
mind.
からないが、かまど井戸付きのチャンス。言いたいことははっきり言ってくれないとわからない。
That's rich coming from Maomao.
馬屋です。
馬屋は却下だ。
You imagine this would change their dynamic, right? The leverage is different now. I don't know if Maomao will fall into it. I think actually with these things, the worst thing you can do is have the thought that this is happening, because then you start spiraling into it. You don't want to have the thought that like someone is above you, you're weak without someone, or you need someone. If you don't actually want to go into that, Jinshi could abuse it, and he could also get really comfortable. And he could get really comfortable and therefore bored, to take Gaoshun's analogy of like him playing with toys and always needing new toys, which maybe also wouldn't be good for Maomao. It's very, very complex, interesting dynamic between them that just sort of got shaken
元
up.
首様はあえなく留守番となった。いつも高級に入り浸っているので暇人かと思いきや。
Speaking of talents being
意外と
wasted,
多忙らしい。
I don't know if this is his gift. He seems to hate it.
あまり立ち寄らないでください。
わかりました。
And never leave home without your freckles. Your freckles that we all hate.
建物の名前と部署は手足の指では足りないほどだ。果たして覚えきれるかどうか。
Yeah, that'll take her like a day.
興味がないものの物覚えは人並み以下なんだよな。
Relatable.
河川や堤防など水利事業に関わる官庁です。
なるほど。
Doesn't care.
やっぱ高級の方が薬の材
Can
料
I
に
please play with the grass now?
おそらく親父がいた頃に
Wow.
移植していたのだろう。
That really changed the whole landscape of this place.
官女になれば外邸が職場になるのですよ。
はい。感情ね。
The lady test. You must be a certified lady.
ここがジンシ様の執務室か。派手さはないがどれも一級品だ。どんだけ位が高いんだ、あの坊ちゃんは。
Future emperor. Emperor's son. Emperor's brother.
新入りの観察
Do
か。
something about it.
嫌な感じだ。
What are you gonna do?
書記官のようなものだ。資格を有し、
Oh, but they're qualified
家柄と
ladies.
教養があり、高級の寄せ集めの女官たちとはわけが違う。それだけのプライドがある。
Speaking of which, why does he like her? She doesn't even have her lady certificate. I'm a certified lady.
あなた、
Oh,
何
they're
様のつ
just
もり
going
かし
right
ら
on being confrontational.
餌がいいと育ちもいいんだな。
聞いてるの。どうしてあなたみたいな子が人士様直属なのよ。
I think it's sort of self-evident.
黙って
Just
いて
hearing them
も相
talk.
手の神経を逆なでするだけか。
That's the move. So do that.
いい加減にしなさい
There
よ。
was no way to win this
言葉を間違えたな。
because they were all geared up.
あなた方が思う鬼人はそんな悪食でしょうか。目の前にアワビや獅子肉があるというのに、わざわざ肉のそげ落とされた鳥の骨を食べたいと思いますか。
How dare you try to appease our anger?
なんであなたが雇われているの？
None of your business.
麗しき天女のようなお方はお心まで天女なのですよ。
That's our Jinshi. That's exactly what we'd expect from someone as physically beautiful as him. They all are terrible and boring.
終わった終わった。
They're pretty
マ
basic.
ニアック。
Oh, you heard that?
お前、
You were right there the whole time?
勉強の方はやっているのか？
そうそうそうそうそうそうそうそうそう
おい！
そうそうそうそうそうそうそうそうそう。
I guess she just does not like this.
うわ
What does the qualification do exactly? It's sort of surprising that she's not a great student. I mean, I know it's not what she wants to study, and I understand how that's hell, but you know what this actually might reveal much more importantly? Is not only that the material isn't interesting to her, but that there's no emotional connection whatsoever to what the results of this exam will be for her. It's that thing of for the right why you can endure anyhow. There's no real why here yet. She's not going to flourish here until that connects. There's been no poisonings. That's the issue also. No one's life has been at stake. There's no mysteries.
静かにね。
Please don't come in my room anymore, uninvited.
こうして試験当日を迎え。
Already? We started studying once, barely.
なぜ
There
落
it
ちる？
is. Okay, that is
な
consistent.
ぜ受かると思う。
マオマオは
Best efforts, you say. Don't go up on the wall. Bad things happen on the wall. Or we're looking at the sky.
ここから先は
You should know your place and you should stop hitting me.
白檀の香りと独特の苦味を帯びた匂い。
Why is that important? I guess I gotta remember that. Sandalwood and a bitter aroma. What did you figure out, Maomao?
軍部か。
Stay away from them. This is so treacherous, this whole thing. Who are you? Lafan? Lacan? Uh-oh, he just got an idea. This is a very, very sinister pose. Oh boy. Yeah, there's trouble brewing. A new ending. What? No. Why did you do that to me? Just skipped it. Why is he just sitting there in the windowsill with a sword? Very Jinshi focused so far. Jinshi's difficult life. He looks so happy. And you know, this song reminds me of Fruits Basket. It's got a very, damn, what is that song? What are you doing? What is this that you're doing? Who is this for? Pretty unusual pairing. The Fruits Basket ending is one of my favorites of all time. Eden. It is not the same artist, but it sounds really similar. This episode feels mostly like setup for this new environment, this new exploration. Like a lot of what I've felt about this show so far. There's a lot happening in the subtext. Like there's this layer underneath that feels like it's building up towards something that will become really important later. Though it's not so overt right now, right? Like these ladies are here for a reason. Their relationship's here for a reason. Her being in Jinshi's quarters is like a big deal. And not all for the romance or for good, right? Like everything in the show that looks like it's a good thing also has the shadow side where it's potential to go wrong for Maomao. It's increased danger. The higher up she goes, the more the spotlight's on her, the more she shines, the more she's at risk of like being stabbed in the back or being a target or, you know, being poisoned. Not that that would work on her. I mean, in a very low stakes way, that seems to be represented even in this episode directly by Jinshi's fan base who, you know, accost her and one of them punches her in the head. That's not going to get any better. That's going to get worse as she gets higher and higher up in this whole system.